well, it wouldn't be, my team would kill me if I didn't talk to you about influencer marketing. So let's do that, and then we'll do one kind of fun end of show question. So the two brands that you've been at have been amongst the, if not the best performing brands that we track. I mean, Tatcha was the number one brand, not when you started, but when you left, in EMV from a just pure influencer coverage perspective. And then Kosas is growing incredibly fast. I think over 100% year over year, multiple years in a row, particularly since you've come around. So what's the secret sauce? What are you doing that nobody else is doing? Because I think the people want to know.
I think might be trade secrets. But we're using Tribe. Is that that's the key?
That was not the purpose of the question.
No. Here's what I would say, and I think actually this goes a little bit to why I do think that the beauty industry people share secrets to some extent. Is I think you can share strategies, but so much of it is in the way what's authentic to your brand. And how do you build it, and how does your founder interact with people, that at the end of the day, like, you can't actually copy each other very easily, even if you kind of wrote the playbook for someone. So I think that's what's interesting about beauty. And so I think on the influencer front, it's kind of like how we were just talking about recruiting, in that it's all about people. It's building your tribe, which I'm guessing is how you guys named the company. And because so much of it is finding who authentically loves you. That's what we're obsessed with. So getting product into as many people's hands as possible to discover who is it that loves you, who shares your values. It's really important to us too that what we stand for is in line with what they believe in. And nurturing those relationships so that it's a two-way street. You're not a brand that's always like, hey, I have this thing that I want to pay you for, but it's instead about, hey, what do you want to do? Like, how can we help you? And where do our goals match? And having that be your team, they're just like an extension of your company. And it's all about relationships. That's the number one thing. I think that you could write a million strategy playbooks, but if you don't fundamentally have people who understand your products and what they do, you might get those like one hit things that spikes your EMV for a month. It's a hero product. They love it. It's a good product. But I think that long term of, the Tatcha staying at number one EMV for years, that comes from real love, and loyalty and retention. And I think that's really it's not a secret sauce. It's but it's an approach, and, we're small. So, Tatcha never paid anyone. Everything is organic. And I do believe that there is a role for, they're influencers and it's their job. So I absolutely believe that they need to be paid. But I do think that it's a mix. And it starts with the organic relationship before it moves into anything else. And so data is a piece. We use Tribe religiously. But it's art and science, and relationships. That's number one word, which I know you talk about a lot too, as it retain, like, about retention and your community metrics.
Yeah, for sure. It's funny because it's kind of so straightforward, but at the same time so misunderstood and misapproached. People tend to approach it like a media buying exercise, like, oh, you're a magazine, I come, what's your demographics? Let me pay you to talk about me, and it's just not what it is. And it tends to kind of the way that you treat those people that are showing you that organic love has a really big impact on everybody else, right? Because then everybody else goes, oh, wow, look at how Kosas is treating the people that love them, right? Versus, oh, yeah, they went and paid the Kardashians to talk about them, right? Like, it's just, it's a totally, the positive and negative externalities there are just totally misunderstood.